part 3 of my employees' paychecks riding on the teacups at Disney World. So after my lovely conversation with my business partner, soon to not be, at lunch, I, of course, as I said, I went home, I dug through all our transactions for a week and a half and discovered that over $50,000 had been stolen from our company by my business partner. I wanted to be smart about this, and I knew if I came to him, things wouldn't go very well one way or another. I don't think he would have gotten physical, but I think he would have tried other ways to get out of it. So I just went to an attorney's office and I gave him all the information that I had. He asked me to come back with all of our business agreements, our leasing agreements for the buildings and equipment. So I did that. He was combing through it right in front of me and he said, "Kayla, do you realize the only official documents that your name is really on is just the LLC, and the ownership of the business name, the trademark and things like that?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm not on the leasing agreements." And then I remembered the first lease agreement for the first restaurant we opened, he had already, before us finalizing being partners, he had already put down a deposit and the first few months of rent. So of course I wouldn't have been on that because, I wasn't there for all that. So I'm like, that makes sense. And I remember we did the same thing for the second location because, why not? And I never thought anything of it. And I could really care less. All the equipment for the first restaurant he already had, in the building. So no worries there. So he told me this, the attorney told me this was like the best information I could possibly have because that means I literally could just walk away. I could get through the rest of the year, pay our taxes, and be done with it. So I get through the year because football season and holiday season was incredible, as I knew it would be. During that time, I really believe in, appreciating your employees, and if you do well, they should do better too. And on crazy, amazing, profitable nights, at the end of the night, I would hand out 20s, 50s, and 100s, just depended on how much work I think you did, and how well we did, and he hated that, hated it, even though us as business owners were making a pretty decent living. He could not stand giving our employees any more money than they earned hourly. And we even fought about what hourly pay we were going to offer in the first place. And that's a whole nother story. I'm getting off topic. Anyway, so the attorney told me that I need to sue him after I pay the taxes, because he said when I pay the taxes, I'm still going to have to pay the taxes on the missing $50,000 plus. And that makes perfect sense. Just because you don't have it anymore doesn't mean that the transactions aren't there to prove it. You can't lie. And I had a certified accountant, so it's on record that we made that much more money than we really had, physically. So I get through the year, we do great. I pay the taxes in early February. I then tell my business partner that I'm going to have to take a vacation and take care of some family stuff. He was fine with that. Little did he know, I was taking the time off to have him served and get ready to sue him. So I contacted one of my process serving friends that we had worked together and traded cases with. I told her what was going on. I asked her how much she was going to charge me. She said, "I'm not going to charge you a dime. You've helped me in tight spots. This is an awesome thing to do, and I just want to help you." So we decided to make a fake profile on Facebook because we learned as process servers, sometimes you have to do crazy things to get people to come out. She tried to serve him like a regular person, like 4 or 5 times, 4 or 5 attempts, and he evaded her. So she asked me what motivates him the most. I said, right now is money. And he probably wants to sell this business really bad, because I found out in December that he was 3 months behind on rent, and he didn't tell me, and I just held that information to myself and my attorney. So she made a fake profile on Facebook and was contacting him. Of course, I was watching everything, and told him that as a man, because we made the Facebook account as a man, that she was interested in purchasing his restaurants. Within an hour, he was already contacting her. Like, what do you want to offer? This is how much it's going to be for this one. This is how much it's going to be for that one. She said, let's meet up. Within 2 days, they had already made plans to meet up. And my business partner didn't feel it necessary to let me know any of this, which I thought was even extra funny. Because, it's like, are you kidding me? Like, how much do you really want to screw me? So... So the morning they were supposed to meet, he was expecting a man. We drive up, we park in a parking lot next to our restaurant, and I stay in the back seat and I'm hovered down because I want to watch everything and see his facial expressions. She walks up to him and pretends to go into Barnes & Noble, which is right next to our restaurant, and instead looks over her shoulder as she's trying to open the door to Barnes & Noble and says, "Do I know you?" And he looks at her and he was like, "No, I don't know you." She's like, "I think you're so-and-so, aren't you?" And he said, "Yeah, that's me. I own 2 restaurants." Like, he has to brag, he's one of those people. And she said his name again and said, "You've been served." And the look on his face, I will never, ever, ever forget. It was one of the best things ever. And I'll have to make another part 4 in a few minutes to tell you the rest.